So going back into how much more can we develop on this whole value addition? Because every bit of value addition is like tiny drops of water makes a mighty ocean, you know. And then same with monies too, right? 1 cent, 2 cents, it's just small amounts, but then you save it, and that's how savings happen, right? And then pretty soon you're like, whoa, that amounted to something. 100 cents amounted to something, even if it was done over 100 days. Likewise, there are, you know, tiny steps that we are taking, baby steps perhaps, but those tiny sprints are what are very important for our agility to happen. Now, think of some of the things. We may not even be able to avail certain things, certain technologies, certain knowledge. It's happening somewhere. Someone's invented it. The fact that we are aware of it, instead of saying that, oh, they all have access to that technology, this knowledge base, this institution, that Ivy League university. Yes, it is pretty disheartening that we don't have access to it, but the fact that we've heard of it, we could have gone totally, you know, spent several years without even knowing of it. Knowing is very important. Remember, we've always said, right? Knowing that there is a snake in the house helps you to tread carefully. Knowing that this is there helps you to gradually plan as to how you can take part in it, how you can participate, how you can learn. Knowing. Now, for that you can be thankful. I am glad that I know that this sort of knowledge exists. I am glad I know that this sort of method or process or operation exists. I am glad that this sort of management style exists. That is the #1 step for which we can be thankful for. And so imagine if it's coming from a very empowered state, from a very powerful state, it need not have even come to us, like the sun's rays. The sun's rays doesn't distinguish between this or that. It falls on everything, right? Likewise, this knowledge has been dispersed everywhere. And therefore, it did not make any, it did not make any sort of, what do you call, distinguished, contribution to one person and then a less of a contribution to one person. It came to everyone. So for that, we begin with the thank you mode, that this knowledge is available to me. And then once that's available, what is it that we cannot do, right? Now we say that, oh, okay, I got to be in the thank you mode. Why should I have to be so thankful for all the things that have happened to me or for all the things that's happening? Now, if you go into the job market today, they're saying it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't know, the validity of this at all times. Let us say that this is very important. Who you know is important. Now, when you have to know someone, you have to be cordial. You will have to want to connect with them. You will want to interact with them. And you want to stay connected with them and all of that. And so for that, you have to be respectful. You can't just, like for instance, today they say on LinkedIn, connect with people. That's very important for your job. Yes, but you can't be disrespectful to someone and say that I still will be connected to you. See, there you respect. So there are so many places where we already know that we will have to be, very respectful, very thankful, polite, and kind and all of that, right? Because that's how we can go places. So it's the same thing for all the events that have happened in our life, without putting them in the bins of good or bad, if we can just be thankful, because here we are in a place of realization that we want to add value. For that, we have to be thankful. And so just like how we're trying to network with people, first let's network with our own opportunities that have come in our life, with our own situations that have come, just for the fact that we're all participating in the study together. For that, if we're thankful, what happens is it's like, hard clay. If someone gives you a very hard clay and says, you know what, I know this is not pliable, but can you make something out of it? You first have to pour water on it, soften it a bit at a time, break it down, soften it, break down the big pieces, mix it, blend it, make it into a paste, and then the clay is in clay form. So therefore, sometimes there's work involved that we'd have to do a little at a time. But to do that, you will have to be willing. And once again, it all ties to the same thing, right? That value addition begins from that place of thankfulness. And that can happen only when we notice that things have happened to you even without your knowledge. In the sense, even the knowledge that has come to you, You didn't even know how you deserve it or how you got it, but it came to you. And therefore, things worked at that time. It could be anything. The internet, it's there for everyone. It doesn't distinguish. So therefore, you have so much of access. Yes, it's slow in some places. It's fast. Totally understand that. But sooner or later, you are going to get it. The fact that, a good thing is coming, right? Your child's coming from a far off place. You're happy. Even if they're coming 2 hours late, you're not going to be like, if you're coming 2 hours late, don't come to this house. No, you don't say that. You're like, I'm going to wait however long and, have them come to my place. Likewise, even if it's coming a little late, it is coming. It is meant to be coming. So therefore, thankful for everything. The internet, the book, the paper, the pen, the light. When you go into this mode, you go into the acceptance mode, and then this is what we're trying to do with our workforce. We're preparing a young generation to go into the workforce. Sometimes there are many, not sometimes, I should say all the time, there's challenging situations. So the moment you hit challenge, you should not be like, oh, I didn't see this coming. I thought it was all going to be swell and hunky-dory. It's not hunky-dory. And therefore, how are we going to face the challenge? Like that clay that we said, soften a bit at a time and try to work. And for that to happen, we will have to prepare. We're not preparing for people with all the knowledge to doing it. That's definitely going to happen. Knowledge is something that we cannot ignore. We are going to do it. But we're also preparing people for the willingness to handle any tough situation. That's the purpose of our program. Thank you.